woodsy fragrances. So you want to smell woodsy, like the forest, like tree bark. So there are quite a few woodsy fragrances out there, but I think I have a few pretty good top options here. And as always, all the fragrances that I mentioned will be available in Amazon associate links down in the description below. So I'm going to start with one of my favorites, which is also a classic, which is Obsession from Calvin Klein. This is completely empty, but this is from 1985, and it is a supremely woodsy, feminine scent. So the primary wood notes in this one are mainly sandalwood and cedar. There's also spices and incense and amber and things like that, but the two main wood notes, cedar and the sandalwood. So it is a really, really powerful fragrance. Definitely not for the faint of heart. The 80s was a time for women's fragrances when they were really, really strong and heavy and more like men's fragrances. Today, they're more about, sweet, sugary tones, but Obsession really goes all out with that just heavy, woodsy, ambery type of fragrance. I love it. I think it's great. It's also very animalistic, has those musk notes as well. But in general, the wood notes are very realistic to the real smell of, you're going out, there's cedar trees all over the place. Very realistic, woodsy smell, which is just very appealing, very attractive. That natural type of scent, again, mixed with that animalistic tone that it also has. Just in general, a very, very attractive scent, and very strong, really good longevity. But again, if you prefer like the light florals or the sweet fragrances, Obsession probably will not work for you. Now, going in for actually an even older scent, but even woodsier, is 1000 from Jean Patou. This came out in the 70s. I'm not sure exactly when, but this is again, almost a pure wood fragrance. When you put it on, it's pretty much the only thing you smell. It is very dry for that reason. There's definitely no sweetness. It's a little bit actually on the colder side, despite the wood notes, but it's definitely, like it's a crisp kind of autumn day. You're walking through the woods, the forest. You get that really natural, just woodsy, kind of earthy smell to it. Or like even an old writing desk or an old piece of wooden furniture. It has that really woodsy kind of feel to it. Now, this is another one that's not for everyone. Again, there's no sweetness at all, even less sweetness than Obsession. Definitely a very hard, solid, a little bit cold type of fragrance. Definitely those for like who want a hardcore type of woodsy scent. And even though this is for women technically, it's definitely unisex, especially in today's market. It's again, no sweetness, just woodsy, just several types of wood, and it's actually pretty powerful. I wouldn't say as strong as Obsession, because Obsession is crazy, but definitely I would say 6 to 7 hours on longevity. And it's just a nice natural scent, which is nice. Now, going in for something similar, but not quite as sharp and hard as 1000, is from Shanta Kai, which is Vetiver Cèdre, which is basically vetiver cedar. This is another kind of pure, woodsy, very extremely natural smelling fragrance. You're not getting anything synthetic out of this. You're not getting anything mixed with lots of sweetness or lots of this or that. This is vetiver and cedar. It's very straightforward. You're not playing around. You're just getting something very natural, very pure. Again, you can very much imagine yourself, how a forest would smell around you. So definitely something for those who prefer something more natural, more subtle. Longevity on this is not great because it's meant to be a more subtle, more smooth, more of an intimate fragrance. But if you don't mind that, then the smell alone of this is really, really nice. Just smooth, subtle, natural, very well balanced. Has that dryness of the vetiver mixed with the, that kind of rough tone of the cedar. So overall, this is a really, really nice fragrance. If you want something really simple, just with a few notes, nothing crazy, just, you know, maybe you could wear this after after a shower or something like that. But in general, just a simple fragrance that still performs really, really well. Now, moving on to one of my kind of absolute favorites, which is Oud Satin Mood. So this is a different type of wood. Oud obviously is a very specific type of wood, actually a type of moldy wood. Just happens to smell nice, very musky, very heavy, very intense compared to, you know, sandalwood or cedar. Now, the oud is mixed with Turkish rose, which I always say when I bring up this fragrance is just the most phenomenal mixture, because you get the oud, which is obviously very heavy and very intense, you mix it with the rose, which is lighter and sweeter, you get this wonderful kind of cross, this combination to create Oud Satin Mood, which is just a really, really nice option to wear. Definitely more of an evening fragrance, I would say. It's very luxurious smelling, not quite as rugged and natural as some of these others on the list. This is more of an elegant kind of date night type of fragrance. Or cold weather, you know, just a pretty warm fragrance. But in general, it's very, very nice, very sophisticated, and just a generally very attractive scent. It is unisex as well, even though I will say it's a little bit more on the feminine leaning side, but still unisex. And then the last one, which I do not currently have, but also very famous, Santal 33. Everyone's heard of Santal 33 from Le Labo. This is also one of those kind of pure wood fragrances that kind of mixed with some spices and some other warm notes and things like that. It is a really, really nice fragrance, very well rounded. I mean, it's popular for a reason. You know, it's well developed, balanced, subtle, but not too subtle, has a certain, you know, just presence to it. And I would say it's pretty unique smelling, definitely, and good performance. I mean, pretty much I haven't seen much to complain about Santal 33. It's just a nice, simple, but effective woodsy scent with some spice notes thrown in. But in general, that is my list for top woody fragrances. So hopefully you found this video helpful, and if you did, of course, leave a like, maybe subscribe, and I make videos throughout the week, so stick around for those.